Are you bored? Are you bored of what you're doing? Are you not interested in it? Are you just at a loss of pizzazz? The glitter. Has the glitter worn off? Has every single thing that you thought it would have been not hitting your expectations? Sometimes we have certain things in mind that we expect. Oh, this is gonna go this way, this is gonna go that way, and then all of a sudden it's like a whole entire 180 and you're like, yo, what's going on? And I think when you finally understand what a certain aspect of your life is, a certain event or your certain job or your certain schooling or your certain state in your life is not what you expected, it's kind of like, oh man, I'm kind of bored. That you're kind of like, oh, that's it. That you know deep down that you are so much more capable of something else, but you just don't have the interest in it anymore. And I think it's hard to figure out if you aren't interested in it anymore or that you just aren't putting in enough time to be interested in it yet. Because I think when you go to a new job and you're like having this big glitz and glam idea of this perfect job that has the right benefits, the right culture, the right schedule for you, the right coworkers, every single thing, and then all of a sudden you have a bad boss, then all of a sudden your job's really bad. But is it the job that's bad or is it the boss that is bad? And I think when you can kind of differentiate between what you need out of something and what is going on and what's affecting you and how that's kind of all playing a big circle is the big difference. Because when you are in a certain situation, we all have expectations of things being picture perfect in the way that we want to. But then when reality hits, it's not. And when that reality continues, what are you going to do? What am I going to do? And I think when you finally accept what is happening currently and you realize that you're bored, and when you realize that this isn't working for you, and when you realize something needs to change, but you're expecting change to occur, but you're not changing yourself, that is when the law of Einstein's, I think it's like, someone's commented this and like corrected me, so please correct me. But it's like Einstein's law of like insanity, thinking things are going to change without changing. And I think that's really become really prevalent in whatever point in life you are, that you want something to change, you're not doing anything, but you expect things to change. And I think clarity comes up and asking questions and being able to realize that you're not a burden and to do something for yourself. I mean, it's really easy to think, oh, other people are busy. Oh, I'm a burden asking this person to do something. Oh, I don't know how to do this thing. I don't want them to think I'm stupid. I'm dumb or I'm incapable. But when you set these mental barriers up for yourself, you're kind of hindering yourself less and less. When in actuality, they're more than willing to help you. You just have to seek it out for yourself. And I think when you kind of take that initiative, you are showing to yourself that you're actually interested in this thing and that you actually care and that it's something worth your time to do. I think mentally, because I think it's really easy to, on the visual side, to see something that you're really interested in, yeah, and you want to put a lot of effort into it. You want to give it your all. But then when you switch to something else and you find that, oh, this isn't really that interesting, I don't really like it, maybe you haven't given it enough time to be interested in. Maybe you haven't allowed yourself to truly understand your job, your environment, your schedule, your classes, your friends, your environment, whatever that may be for you. Maybe you're not giving yourself enough time to be interested in it. And I say that because I've literally felt like I couldn't go to a professor. Like, I work like right after like one of my classes, and their office hours is from like 1 to 2, and I'm working until like 2:20, and I'm like, oh man, like I so missed it. But I'm like, you know what, Emma, just go. Like, one of my friends, they go to him all the time, and they were like, yeah, he's there until like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, I'll go like see if he's there or not. And this was the first time that I've gone into him this entire like year, and yeah, I kind of really got interested in the stuff that I'm actually learning because I'm asking questions, and because I do genuinely care about this material. Like, I want to do good in the class, but I'm just kind of bored, and I'm just like, I don't really care. But I think honestly taking that initiative to be interested in it a little bit kind of helps me, and hopefully can help you get that interest, and kind of maybe even not get that interest, but get a sense of like importance of it in the long scheme of things, and to know that it will affect you in a certain way, in a certain fashion that you and I might not know, but it does. And I think that's another thing that I'm really struggling with right now, is trying to take the initiative and trying to care about these classes, because I think I talked about it in like the rating video. It's like this past like month, I kind of just haven't cared about my classes, because 1, there's like no homework. 2, I'm not really getting graded on anything, and 3, like, what am I supposed to do? And when I'm not even interested, nor do I care about it. But I think what I'm really having to learn is to take that initiative, and to ask questions, and to really put forth that effort. And I found out that his office hours is just whenever he's there. He's there when he gets there at like 8 in the morning, leaves at like 4. And he's usually not there during his class times, obviously. But I think I really just need to take the initiative and actually ask questions, because the stuff that I'm learning in biochem is very interesting. I just don't feel like I have the time to ask the questions to be interested in it, actually. And I think when it kind of goes down to whatever that you really care about, is that on the big picture it might not seem very interesting, but once you kind of dig deeper, you can actually kind of get that interest, and maybe you can actually care about it a little bit. and I think that's what I'm going to do for my analytical chemistry, is to take an initiative and go into my teacher's office hours, because she has them from like 8 in the morning till 10, and I think I'm going to try to go in before classes to see her, because probably should try to care a little bit, because I have a test on Thursday. Yeah, but I say better late than never. And I think that concept has really been even more clear, because I remember last year I took physics 1 and 2, and I really just was super lost, and I really didn't understand, and I thought I was going to have to get a tutor, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And I'm just struggling. And I started going to my teacher's office hours, and he's a very different type of professor than he is person. I love him as a person. He's an amazing person. Just the teaching style is very hard to understand at times. And when you can kind of separate the two, and then you can go into his office hours and he can actually give you a one-on-one and teach you, is very, very much was very much needed, and very helpful. And I think it's kind of turning back and being a big full circle of like, yo, Emma, you need to get your act together, and you need to go to office hours, because they actually help you, and you can't just keep getting by absolutely the hair on your teeth. What is it? I forget. On like the skin of your teeth, like getting barely by is what I'm trying to say. And I think when you kind of put that initiative into it, and when you actually kind of care about something, and even if you fake care, that you can kind of just make care, and like then you can kind of like trick yourself and like, oh my gosh, this is actually a lot more interesting and applicable in real life. And I think that was kind of the issue, is sometimes we don't see the real life applications, and we're like, it's so boring. But then when you can ask questions and kind of dig deeper and deeper and have real life applications, I think that's when things can get a lot more bright and interesting, and more of like, oh my gosh, like I actually understand this. And I think one of the most cool things that you can do is actually apply the things that you learn. And I think that's one of the most interesting things about business, is that you can learn so many things from all your business classes. And excuse me. And then you can see real life progress. And so yeah, that was my light bulb moment of the day. So I want to leave you with this. Are you bored? Or are you just disinterested? And ask yourself, how much time are you giving yourself to actually dig deep into this job, this information, this schoolwork, this person, this whatever, to decide and give yourself a whole truth and reality check of, is this what I want? Food for thought.